Okay, this is the first episode of Glass Half Full, everybody.
Let's go.
Okay, we're all very excited to be here, we know. So I am Nico Kessler, or some people know me as Crypto Nick on TikTok. Okay.
I'm Zinasa.
I'm Simon.
I'm Sidney Kramer.
And our filmer is... Jamie.
Jameson.
Let's go.
That's good.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with a question for everyone, and it's gonna be like more of like a debate thing, the style question.
Okay.
So like, why should or shouldn't you go to college? We start off with Simon's perspective, the guest star. He's the featured star today. Show's scripted towards him. So
Nice.
start off with what? Question for you.
I think the answer to that is more complicated than just like a yes or no. I think it's like, it depends on your situation. Like some of my friends, and I know some people that like I'm not even friends with, that like going to college is like not economically viable to them at all. It doesn't make any sense to them to go to college. Like they would just be in like probably like tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And I remember this like one woman at Crosby's like overheard me talking about college debt, and she just wanted to be like what did she want to be? Like a physical therapist or something. She was in like $250,000 of debt.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy. And like that like definitely made me think like college is not right for everybody. But if you're someone who's like fortunate to have college like paid for, I think I would definitely go. I don't think there's any reason not to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that a lot. I like how you say, like, it definitely depends on a person, their situation.
Yeah.
Not even just, like, financially, I feel like, too, as well. Because that's kind of the point you made. I think that it's also, like, based on, like, what you want to pursue. Because not everything has to be, like, going through college nowadays. There's so much more we can learn on the internet and everything.
So I went to college for like 6 months and then I dropped out because I realized it wasn't for me. But then I have like friends and buddies who are like in college learning what they want to do. I have a buddy in criminal justice and like a marketing major. And for some people, like you guys said, it's the right move for them. That's what they want to do. That's what like they're built for. But I've realized that I can learn a lot more by myself, learn more about me, what I can do and what I can like leave behind. Just by not spending like $20,000 to go to college to have a teacher talk to me. When I can because everything's on the internet. So it's just easier to just, in my opinion, but it's different for everyone. Just learn it yourself, be there and absorb all the information.
I think one good thing about college though is that like if you don't have the skills like necessary to like, I mean it's really hard to like get good and let alone like master a subject that you want to make a living off of. So college is kind of like the structure and like the environment where you can like harness those skills and then kind of like be better for the working world kind of.
Yeah, I completely agree because like in reality like we all know that like I'm not going to college, like I don't want to do that, it's not for me. But like if we didn't have a lot of those workers, like they are a huge part of our economy and like who we are as people and just like as a system, as a whole country or world really. And like I do think that school should be like more geared towards like creating your own destiny rather than like being set up for like a stereotypical employee job. Like for instance, like we were having senior seminars today and like I didn't hear one like comment about this kid like starting his own lab or like he's like a science major like Ethan, I don't remember his name.
Oh, that's his name, Ethan.
Yeah, but he's going to UMass and he's doing all this work and stuff and I'm
Wait,
like
BC?
Yeah, BC.
That's the guy I was just telling Jamie about.
Yeah. But I was listening to both of the kids talk and I'm like great, like you're doing all this work in college and stuff, but I'm like, how does that thought not come to your mind like of you could create your own company like and like expand so much and like not just make a lot of money but like just grow so much more as a person and like grow as a leader
I think it's the fear of being like independent in that way, kind of, because like to start your own company and everything, there's so many risks to it, and like it's a lot of work instead of just working for someone and already having like a set out plan.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
Because like for college, like what you were saying, like you go to college, you know what you're studying, you know what you're going to be doing after that, you know like how much you're going to be making, and that's like your career. That's what you want to do. But like what we want to do is we want to be able to create our own destiny and not have to like go by that.
Create your own
like,
reality.
Create your own
Exactly.
reality. So, shout out. But like
Shout out Alex Sedlak.
shout out.
Hey,
But like
Alex.
you want to be able to. You only have one life, and like I personally don't want to like sit behind a desk or like work for someone else. I want to be able to see what I can do by myself
Straight
and
up.
create exactly like the life I want to live. My friends, my family, everyone.
Yeah.
I think you can do that, a lot of that stuff in college too. I think there are
for
really
sure.
good opportunities, like what BC said, like he got that lab, and he's like on his way of getting published, and now he wants to get his PhD. He got that from a connection, like at his school, obviously.
Yeah.
That's like super clutch. in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
And like
And then
honest-
also like you're good. And then also like I think another good thing that you can do, which is not for everyone, it's actually like super difficult to do, which is like studying abroad. Like if you study abroad, like that gives you a ton of life experience. And you can do that really easily through college. Most of the time it's like paid for.
yeah, that's huge.
You're
I
paying
know.
for it.
Yeah, like one of our friends, Clayton.
Is he doing
He's
that?
going to London for his first
Is he
semester.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's
Yeah.
going to London for his first semester. He's going to CU Boulder.
That's
So
kinda
like
fun.
that's pretty awson. Like he's just going. To
That's like such a
first
great
semester in
opportunity
London, that's awesome.
to like go to
like
a
so like I
different
guess
place.
college is great, but like it's also like I don't know. It's
I
really
guess
hard.
it's like that point is like if you're going out, it's kind of like you're trying to find yourself. A lot of people like go to college like undecided, and, like they really don't know what they're doing. I feel like
Right.
that's most people, like they don't know what to expect. So like I guess it's like a way to figure out what you want in life.
Right.
See,
To
like,
Definitely.
those that like don't have like a set out plan or
Definitely.
ambition, like
yeah.
It's good to like help give you like ideas. Once you get there, you're like looking at all the different things you can do.
That was
'cause
my next
that's
point.
like kind of where you're able to like explore. But I
And
feel
you
like,
do it pretty much risk free. I mean,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
switch
Yeah.
majors anytime.
Exactly.
If you
That's the good thing about it.
say
one at a time.
attempt
One at a time.
if you attempt something
Gotta pick
like say without college, like without the college structure,
Yeah.
it's make or break most of the time. Unless you have like a pretty safe safety net.
Yeah, I
Like,
completely
It's
agree.
make or break, and that's
college
what,
is a place where you're meant to fail. Like
Yeah. Like, well, in my eyes, like, for a lot of people, like, so, like, a lot of people, as you guys know, like, like, go into college not really knowing what they want to do or, like, who they are as a person. So, like, I feel like it's kind of like a giant safety net for people. And, like, since, like, in throughout history, like, everybody's been going to college for so long and, like, it's such, like, a classic thing in our society and, like, a normal thing, like, it's what everybody's gonna do. They're gonna follow the group. And it's like, I don't know. A quote by Elon Musk, like, kind of, like, convinced me, like, it was not literally, but, like, somewhat, like, showed me, like, not... He kind of convinced me not to go to college. He was basically saying, he basically said, not, like, totally, but, like, it was a good point. He basically said, you know, college is... for the normal people, and like in order to be different, you have to do the indifferent.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't think that's saying. I think it's a
it's a very like broad quote, so you can't take it too deep. But it was just a little thing that convinced me. But I do want to move on to the next question because I know we can talk about all these questions for hours.
That's probably true.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay. So, do you think people should start looking at college as an alternative rather than a first choice?
As college.
Like, you know, yeah, because you know
Can I
how
start off on
our
this one?
Sure.
yeah.
I think yes, because you're kind of like as a young kid, like you grow up to like, oh, in middle school, like high school's so important because you got to go to college and everything. Everything just feels like in our school system right now, it leads up to college. Like we don't explore many alternative like options. There's not many options normally unless you're learning by yourself. Because like many kids are like stuck in this like school, like we're learning the same stuff, all STEM and everything. They play sports and everything, but everybody's the same. There's nothing special. We're not really truly using our brains to what I believe is our fullest ability. And that like as with that mindset as growing up, you're unable to just like release that like ambition and want. You're just stuck with like the normal, I guess. So I do think there should be alternatives because it would change a lot of kids' perspectives, I believe.
What do you think they should do after high school?
I think it's important for like.
Like, what do you think every single kid should do after high school?
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can like
that.
say what every single kid should do because every single person is different in a way, but they also are the same. But I'm saying for those like individuals who stand out, who like don't follow the norm, or like those kids that like just sit alone at like a lunch table. Like I believe those kids are the true kids that are going to succeed instead of those kids that are like in a group messing around and being stupid all the time. Because, like, those kids who are sitting by themselves, they have their own thoughts.
I agree. I think one thing, like, high school and college... Actually, I don't know college, so I can't speak for college.
Yeah.
High school education could definitely be changed around a little.
Oh,
It
yeah.
should.
I think if high school... I think if
That's
the high
exactly
school
what I was
education
gonna say.
system was
That's exactly what I was going to say.
based better, I don't think this debate would be... I don't even think it'd be a question.
This debate
Yeah,
wouldn't
because
exist.
the kids would be set up for, like...
You set up for
You know, it's
careers
hard- it's
and
right.
life.
But
and
also,
life.
I think
That's
it's
like-
hard. I think one other thing that's hard to do in high school, which you have to balance. I mean, you do graduate high school when you're 18.
Yeah, it's
You
so
change
hard.
a lot.
You're so
you change
young.
a lot when you're 18.
Yeah, I agree.
Went
Like,
from
you're
15
so
to
young.
18.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pressure a kid to make a decision like
Exactly.
Right.
that. So
That's why it's so
why
hard.
I also think that.
Because I feel like it's like a social norm that like parents force and like all grown-ups do that
Exactly.
you're supposed to go to college. Like I know some families like back then like didn't go to college and like they want their kid to go to college and be like that one person in their generation that went to college, but college is just such like a normal based thing that like it doesn't give kids an opportunity to even look at a different option, which sucks.
Right, like in
Yeah.
high school, like all you did in high school was learn, just so you can go to a college, get a
And keep
degree, and get a
learning.
job. It's
Yeah.
like, no,
But what
but
do
you're
you-
teaching me shit that's not important to me.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care about it personally because I already knew like what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of like I don't know. Sometimes I felt like it was useless information just to have you keep going on one path that everyone is like supposed to go
But
on.
that's also
high
what-
school, college, job, like house with a fucking white picket fence.
But that's why I feel like it's so hard with high school because this is no offense, but people like that think like you are still the minority. Like
100%.
so you can't just like so it's hard to it's basically impossible to cater to everyone's needs in high school, which is like why we're probably never gonna come to a solution. But it needs to change. I don't know how.
That's true, but like, dude, like, look at the electives in our school. It's art and like building like stuff, right?
I think the
Bridges.
electives we have are really good.
We
I
have
don't
some
think
good.
We have really good
dude.
electives.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay, wait.
I
Can
really
say
don't.
something? Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, as being from Hamilton Wenham and like having the opportunities we have, we're obviously like all really lucky to like have the opportunities that we have, like to become who we want to be. Like a lot of people don't even have that opportunity, and like our high school, like they should be doing a lot more with how privileged we are.
Zenas, I would argue that the electives are more useful than the core classes. in my opinion.
I'm that's what I'm trying to argue, right?
I thought you said the
they're not-
electives weren't important.
Well, I feel like our electives are so little. Like we don't have much to like.
We don't have enough, but we do
Like
have
if
more
you look
than
at
a
like
lot of
St.
people
John's
do.
Prep and like other schools, like
Yeah, but
they
those
have
are
so much more.
But those are so expensive.
But I'm just saying.
Wait, St. John's Prep a private school?
Yeah, Essex. Yeah, it is.
Oh, you have to pay to go. You probably have to pay like so much money. See, that's why it's hard. Like
But I'm just saying, there's other schools like that do this, like that have more programs than we think.
public schools.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we can.
Time
talk
to
about
move
this
on.
for so
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll just keep talking about Simon.
Okay.
I like how we can agree to
this
disagree.
I
question-
love that.
Actually-
Yeah.
So this question actually kind of relates to the conversation, so I'm just gonna ask it anyway. What are the most important things? Like, what do you guys think are the most important things that people should be learning in school, and that our school just like isn't teaching?
Ooh. One thing that was so cool that our
Like
school,
one thing each.
Okay.
We're moving on. You gotta get a flow to this episode.
One thing. Finance. More finance electives. Miss Wheeler.
Miss Wheeler needs a partner.
She needs to be like
Okay,
the freaking
but
like she
Not
knows so
just in
much.
our school, like all
Every school. Yeah.
schools.
They need to teach you how to do your taxes. They need to teach you how to
James,
They need to teach you how to save.
paused.
I don't think it did. I don't.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finance.
More finance.
Kind of
stuff.
add on to
Money.
that. I'm gonna go a little bit more broad than what you said, Simon. I think just more real life situations. Like, I know you guys did your senior seminar yesterday and today, and you guys kind of
I
learned
want to
about
say something about the senior seminars after you say.
how to change a tire and stuff. I find that stuff to be pretty important in our lives because
That was
it's
so
actual
funny.
stuff that relates to our lives.
Yeah.
Like
We
not
got it on the
everything-
last day of school.
Yeah, I know. That should be more implemented into our school.
That was
'cause not
hilarious.
everything that
Like the
is based
curriculum
off
should be based
education.
more about teaching you skills that you're actually.
No,
gonna
but what I'm
use.
trying to say is not everything based off our education, like English, math, history. We're not gonna really use everything we learn from that in our lives. Most people are just not even considering thinking about history anymore.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Like-
But it's ridiculous for the fact that senior seminars, we had it for 4 hours of the last 2 days of school.
Of
It's
the last 180 times 4 days.
We
of school.
have been going to school for 4 years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Learning from 14, maybe 14, right? As freshmen, 14 to 18. Why are we spending 2 days at the last day of high school to learn about careers and how to do the normal things in life? If you don't sign up for Miss Wheeler's financial literacy class, you don't know how to do your taxes.
She doesn't.
How are you gonna do your
Absolutely
taxes?
fucking ridiculous.
How are you gonna do your
That was
taxes?
the last year
I'm
I
sorry.
could sign into
How are
it.
you gonna do your taxes?
Like,
when you grow up,
I mean, you could add
have to get an
someone.
accountant.
You could
I
add
don't
someone
get it.
older than you.
But
Yeah.
come on.
No, but
you should know
No,
how
but
to
there's
do
no
this
stuff we
stuff.
should be
at least how
knowing.
you write
Yeah,
a fucking check.
Yeah, it would be good if it was free.
Yeah.
It's
We should
makes
be
no
able to
sense
get
me.
out. Listen,
And it's sad because we are so privileged, and this is what we have. It's I'm afraid for the people that are less privileged
Yeah, it's
than
crazy.
us.
There's
Yeah.
it's
You
fucked.
must be learning nothing, and I'm not trying to be mean.
No,
but
it's crazy. It's crazy.
But we don't know we don't know shit compared to what we should be knowing.
Exactly. Even with the resources we have
Come
of
on.
what school we went to and what we did, compared to what other people around the world could probably be learning, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Head
I
starts.
feel like
Head starts are crazy.
yeah, we basically got one of I'd say a really good school, but we still didn't learn anything about, at least in my personal opinion, the real world.
But what's sad is that
We learned a little bit.
But what's
Little,
sad is that we
yeah.
still probably got a
We got
70% 70 to 80% head start over the rest of the entire world.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about the public schools that think about kids that either don't have public school or have really shitty public schools. Yeah, you learn nothing and
we're also kind of blessed because we have a smaller school. Think
That's
about a
true.
school of 1,500 kids. How do you actually
how do you
learn?
actually I agree.
I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Because I think we have a good amount of kids in our school already.
Dude,
It's 500.
no. We
Yeah,
have
it's so small.
We
No,
have
but,
400.
but we already have
Yeah,
20
less.
people in a class.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
It's
it's so much less one-on-one time than we should have with the teacher.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
imagine Beverly. Though.
And me, so I obviously
Exactly.
I had a really widespread mindset on this or a perspective on this because I spent the first up until 8th grade in a Montessori school where we learned literally one-on-one. We were sitting on the floor in 5th grade doing math. That was our class.
Yeah, right.
That's not normal for most people. They're trapped in a desk. In public school, sorry, nothing wrong with public school, but yeah. So we just got so much one-on-one time with the teachers, and it honestly felt like such a huge advantage when I came to public school. And honestly, 90% of the kids that I know who went to my school are very smart.
You said that. I remember when
Very
you said that.
smart.
I remember when you said that.
They all are very smart.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's just, I think it my perspective, going to high school and 8th grade in a public school and kind of shitting the bed Like, it kind of shows, you know? Yeah. And that's the first segment. Okay, we are back with our segment 2. This is going to be a segment that's going to be on most of the episodes. This is personally, honestly, I think it's my favorite segment of the episode. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's my favorite episode.
You're so passionate.
So, okay. Nico's bold statements.
Okay.
Oh, I like
These
this.
are
That's
my-
a great idea.
These
Yo,
are
this is-
my
you put
random
you
bold
put effort
statements.
into this, Nico. Wow.
Okay, these are
I see
just
you.
basically like any like out of the ordinary thoughts that most people don't agree with. So like I want to hear what you guys think. Well, some people agree with them, but I'm not going to say that. Okay, so first I want to start off with this huge thing that like really deeply affected me in my life a lot, and like it completely like changed my mindset like as a whole, and like changed me as a person completely. And it's basically learning that internal happiness is what is needed in life. And what I mean by internal happiness is not letting the materialistic things in life affect your emotions, or anything really affect your emotions, because if you're internally happy, then these external things in life shouldn't mess up your emotions whatsoever. Like, you shouldn't be your happiness, which personally I think is overrated, but we will talk about that later in the pod. You just, those things won't affect you. Those little
Like what?
things won't affect you.
What about big things though?
Like,
Like,
yes, everybody goes through traumatic experiences. Everybody goes through traumatic experiences in life, and everybody has their downfalls in life, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, I agree with
But that doesn't mean that, like, you should be depressed. Unless you have, like, a clinically depressed thing, personally, you should be able to learn. I know it's hard for everyone, it's different for everyone. I'm not being judgmental right now, but like, you should learn how to change your mindset on happiness and being okay with the person that you are in the place that you are in. Because that really will change everything. Like, you're the prize, you're the person. You know, it's like you control everything in your life. Like, you can control if you want to be happy. Like, your mindset, like, if you have a positive mindset, like, all of this is like, this is internal happiness. Like, these external things in life, like money, and like, as much as we love money and like the little like trips and everything, it shouldn't actually change our emotions.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Those external things, those shouldn't make us that happy.
One thing though that you said that I disagree with is that, like, I think every single person in the entire world gets depressed. There's a difference between being depressed and having clinical depression. I think when you get depressed, I think everyone gets depressed at some points, which is just like, it's gonna be normal. So I don't think you can, I think you have an excuse to say, yeah, I'm a little depressed right now. I think that, like, you know, I'm not doing too well. I'm a little depressed. Even if you don't have clinical depression, that's totally okay to say. And if you have clinical depression, that's okay to say too. I think the point that you're trying to make, which I agree with, is that happiness is only up to you. So,
Yeah.
So, like, when you get in those mind states, which everyone gets into, you just have to realize that, like, those thoughts, the, like, negative thoughts or whatever, they can, like, they go away with time, and they go away with, you know, basically just time. But I think that, like, I think it's, like, hard when you say that, like, you can't be depressed ever, you can't be unhappy ever, because, you know, that's just the swing of life, and that's what makes it awesome, is because you're not, if you, like, you can't be on a constant happiness all the time, because then you're not gonna be happy all the time.
I really like what Simon just pointed out. I preach this all the time. You need sadness to have happiness. Because
the down, bro.
if you're constantly happy, you don't know what happiness truly is until you experience that sadness. Like, and there's never always a point where you're always happy. Like what Simon said, like it's okay to be depressed because in life it's always a balance. There's highs and lows of everybody's life. Everybody goes through these boundaries and barriers, and like they grow as a person through traumatic experiences, and that's
it makes you a better
what
person.
allows us to grow. And I think what Nico's trying to say, like, yeah, external factors might affect us, but it shouldn't affect us as a whole in our happiness, because that's something that we have power to control. Like,
can I ask Sydney a interrupting question that I just thought about in my head really quickly?
Go ahead.
So you were an EMT.
Right.
You are an EMT still. I know you were about to say that you've seen traumatic stuff. You can, or maybe not traumatic, but crazy stuff to anyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you could, if you ever see those things, does that ever make you feel fucked up? And then obviously
so from
how do you not let that affect you? Because you've obviously still kept being an EMT after seeing those things.
Right.
Before you answer, never mind answer.
I want to say, so in the job you see a lot of depressing shit, and it will get to you, but what I've learned to do is dissociate. So when you come to a traumatic experience or something, just in life itself, something is gonna go wrong and you know what you're walking into. What I do is I just turn my brain off and I just do what I know what to do, what you're trained to do. You don't look at the faces, you learn their names, but you don't grow an attachment to them.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's but it's also difficult. A lot of EMTs and firefighters, they suffer from severe depression.
PTSD, bro.
And PTSD, cops too, everyone.
Yeah.
And it's part of the job, but it's also, some people have learned how to work around that. They know how to still see that every day, but bring the joy into life. Even in emergency situations, having that joy and upbeat energy. Even dealing with something as small as a broken ankle on the side of the road. We need to learn to balance the sad shit we see into the happy stuff we can get out of it.
Yeah, because you probably maybe not drawing a positive from all the crazy stuff you've seen. You could say I helped these people. If I wasn't there to see that,
exactly,
it probably was gonna be much worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know, at least from my standpoint, that you can help someone every single day, even if it's small or big. And I tell a lot of people that at least once a day, make someone smile, make someone happy, or make someone's day, because that's kind of one of the purposes I believe we're here. But
I agree. And I want to move into a little bit of, it's same trend. So
are we still on
how
Nico's bold
happiness?
statement?
Yeah. Happiness is my second bold statement. Is basically that just which is what you guys are basically saying right now, is that happiness is just completely overrated.
We can all agree to that. But when I saw that, I agreed with that.
But the point of, it isn't happiness. It's being okay with who you are as a person.
And being okay with not feeling okay all the time.
Exactly. And it's you have to realize that, that there's ups and downs in life, and everybody goes through traumatic and not really fun experiences, and we have to fucking suck it up and go through that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about it. And honestly, I've tried to learn that it's just better not to worry about that. Yes, you can feel sad. Yes, you can cry, yes, you can get mad, but don't let it affect who you are. Don't let it affect your actions. Don't let it stop you from doing the things that you want to do.
Another thing that can really help is definitely either therapy or medication. And I know that
but people don't want help a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Or they don't even want to admit to themselves
that it's scary, because once you ask for help, you're acknowledging it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And there's a stigma still, I would say.
100%.
There's something that I kind of want to read that I've read before.
There's literally a stigma in our school for all the viewers that know what I'm talking about. Okay, moving on.
The height of personal happiness can only be measured by the depth of personal sadness. Happiness is not a standalone feeling.
Yeah,
Happiness is
I
a
agree.
comparative emotion. The measure of happiness a person feels is judged against the measure of
How sad do you
sadness
feel?
a person felt in the past. Now, like, I feel like that really just kind of like sums up what Nico like really like tried to make the point of earlier.
Yeah.
Because like, you gotta have these experiences to like understand happiness, and these experiences obviously make you grow and change as a person, but it shouldn't change like your mindset of how people look or think about you. Like, I think true happiness really means like to really understand and accept yourself, to be able to like truly pursue what you want, not give a fuck about what others think. Like, wear what you want, do what you want, have your own thoughts, because that's so important in our society now, because everybody tries to follow the same trend and like, oh, like this person likes that, so I like this, but in reality you probably really don't.
Can we title this video on YouTube, Young Kids Think They Know Every Single Answer to Life, but they probably don't?
Young kids being cocky about life.
No, it's just our point of view.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everybody,
And
like
it
I just
probably
want to,
changed.
like I'll add a little clip. We'll cut this out of the video right there because that we're not gonna have in the video.
Why? That was funny. You're not going to keep that in the video?
Maybe
we
we'll
need
see
to
how
name that
it is,
on
yeah.
YouTube. It will go viral.
This is a
I'm getting that. It will go
very
viral.
Okay.
serious
But
podcast.
But
Do you
yes,
not see
like-
his formal attire right now?
Yeah, man.
Tile.
okay.
Like-
You know what, Simon? Maybe I will.
Thank you.
Okay, but you know, it's like it's really is just our opinion. Like for any viewers or anybody who sees this video or podcast or listens to the podcast or anything, none of us care what you think.
This is a platform.
If I'm being totally honest, like you can say anything you want. Like it's like have your opinions. You can tell us them. We will listen.
And we
like,
can agree to
unless
disagree.
it's
No, guys.
annoying.
We love and care about you guys
We
so
love and
much.
care about all of you.
We love your support, alright?
Yeah.
And the haters.
The haters
Well,
we
but-
will take your
but-
publicity.
This is our podcast, right? This is our platform to express our feelings and thoughts and our
Good point,
ideas.
Zenas.
Yeah, and
I
everybody
don't
who
give a fuck
comes
about what you think.
everybody who comes on this podcast can say anything they want.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So like it's your story to tell. Like it's like you no judgment from any of us. Like we are probably the most judged people in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
we really don't care. Like you can come on and talk to us about literally anything.
We just want to hear what you
Okay.
have to say.
So moving on to a little different topic. We're still in segment 2. So we have 20-minute segments, everybody. Okay. This is a huge thing that I preach in the workplace and just in general to every single person when they're trying to do anything. And I know Zenas wants to talk about it, so you can talk about it first, but I'm gonna say the statement. Long-term consistency over short-term intensity.
Explain, yo.
Absolutely.
Zenas, take it away. I know you want to talk about it.
Wait, what is it? Wait. Long-term.
Long-term consistency.
over short-term intensity.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Like
In any walk of life, yeah, I agree with that.
in any like role of life, having a long-term consistency is always going to be better than short-term intensity. Let's talk about like in a business kind of mindset, because that's what me and Liko like. Like, yes, like making a lot of money fast is really fun and amazing, right? But to have money that will make you money where you don't work is truly on a different level. It supports your whole foundation. Once you have that, you have a foundation that you can build on and take any risk you want, because no matter what, that would always be your backup option. Yes, you can make $1 million like these crypto millionaires, these 14-year-olds
The
right
NFT
now.
millionaires.
Yeah.
But that $1 million, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but in reality, that $1 million doesn't mean shit.
I mean,
$1
it's
million
true.
is not a lot of money in this society.
I agree.
nowadays.
That's not that much money.
100%.
Like when people make fun of Trump for saying a small loan of $1 million, he didn't say one thing that he forgot to mention was that he had the biggest heads. He had a bigger head start than 99% of the population.
100%. He should just need to acknowledge that.
Yeah, but to become a billionaire,
It's like, this is why I want...
not just you will not become a billionaire with a small loan of $1 million. It makes it
No.
probably.
But dude, you need to look at it like...
easier. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, comparative to anyone who can't get a $1 million loan, that looks
right.
that looks
Yeah.
freaking so obnoxious, so prude, so stupid. Like when I first heard that, I'm like, how could you dare? And honestly, when I still hear it, I'm still like, you probably shouldn't be saying you probably shouldn't be like saying it like that. You know what I mean? You should be saying, my dad helped me out because of his success, and that's why I'm so successful.
100%.
Yeah.
Also, like I mentioned earlier, like this rule applies to life. I didn't really explain that part. I really wanted to. So like in life, like if you're like trying to, let's just say like you're learning something, right? And you're trying to learn like 10 things at once, like, and you get good at one thing, like all these 10 things, like you know basic knowledge about them, and like you're doing all this stuff to pursue like your 10 passions, right? But that's only like temporary, like it's nothing stable, nothing that like you're fully invested into. So instead of taking 10 things, I focus on one thing in life, like truly like pursue what you believe in. And it doesn't matter what the fuck you do in life, because as long as you're happy doing it, that's all that matters. I don't feel that a person should have a job and have like this constant worry of like, oh my god, I hate this job. Like that's what school was. Like you shouldn't have to experience that all throughout your life, and to have one thing that you're focused on long term, and it's always going to be consistent because that's one thing that you're pursuing. It's just going to bring you general happiness throughout life, what I preach. Welcome back with a different host. It is now. I guess it's my turn to ask questions for our infamous Nico Kessler. So, recently, crypto, right?
Crypto.
I
guess it's time to buy
what's
it.
happening?
What do you say?
Care to give a brief explanation of what's happening?
Yes. Okay, so first, like, I want to just give a crypto explanation for anyone who doesn't know what crypto is. You should know what crypto is. But crypto is basically, the simplest way to put it is a new form of currency that is developed through the internet, and you can use it basically as cash, and it's just not through governments. We'll go a lot more deeper into in other episodes if you guys are more interested in crypto, but we're just going to give you guys like a quick update on what's going on. So basically what's going on in the crypto market right now is it is a bear market. So crypto is tanking. Bitcoin is down from 50%, I believe, from all-time highs, which was like $63,000, and I'm pretty sure right now it's sitting around 27, 29K. But I think we'll probably see 25K recently, like coming soon.
I mean, we're down 3.7%, and we're at $29,198.50 right now.
Yeah, so Bitcoin is very, very low. And as you guys know, or should know, crypto all runs on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first crypto created, so it's basically just like the big dog on top. So
Wait, it all runs through Bitcoin?
it doesn't all run through Bitcoin. It all runs
It's like when NASDAQ
attached to
like,
Bitcoin.
Oh!
Yeah. Or,
If you look at like stock ETFs.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
So today, earlier in the news, we had Elon Musk, the unfortunate allegation of a sexual charge. Care to talk about how that affected Tesla and Twitter stock today?
Yeah, so basically, it was really interesting what happened.
Yeah.
So, we're not going to go too much into detail about what happened actually, like with the allegations and stuff, or whatever happened, but Tesla basically tanked. It fell how much percent in the day?
6.42.
6.42, but I believe the low of the day was around $630, which was absolutely insane. That was just ridiculous.
I mean, going from a 52-week high of $1,200 to $500. Like,
Yeah, like since your Tesla stock is literally cut in half right now, so it'd be honestly a good time to buy in, and if you're still bullish
I was just gonna.
in the future. Honestly, I'm definitely still bullish in the future on Tesla, especially of how low this market is right now. Like SPY hit all-time lows, I think this week or last week, and that's just ridiculous. It's sitting at what was it at 380? I think it was at
385.
I think it dropped down to 380 today, but it closed. Oh, it actually closed.
It was at a
above.
low of 380.
Yeah,
A
it
high
had a
of
low of 380
393.
today. It had a low of 380 today, but it closed actually above the line, which is good.
Yeah.
But it, like, that's just insane. And this market is just absolutely bloody. Everybody is just
Bloody.
dumping shares in every single thing, and for option contracts, if any of you are in option contracts for stocks, the put volume is ridiculous on these SPY puts. It's absolutely insane. Like, there was some insane volume on the 380 puts today. What?
Are we allowed to start a monologue about crypto, or are you just giving an update
What do
about
you
the
mean?
crypto markets?
Right now I want to give an update.
Oh, okay.
I want to go, we can go in a little bit into crypto and talk about, talk about what everyone thinks after the update, but I just want to continue to talk about this real quick. Yeah, so basically, that market, it's a good time to buy if you're bullish in the future with stocks. It's scary to buy right now, but if you guys think about it, the people who invested right before COVID made a lot of money before this market obviously tanked, you know? They made a lot of money if they pulled out at the right time. You can't time the market, so I would just stay consistent with your investments and just keep going, and you should just continue on the right path of your investment, especially if you're going long term, because if you're doing short term, you're either dumb or a good day trader. So, yeah, but
Yeah, also want to talk about today, personally for you, made us some money.
yes, I did make some money. So, basically what I did was just option calls. So, like, I like day trading, I like the risk. So, I bought a couple option contracts and I bet on Tesla going down to, I think it was 650, and I think I got like a couple. No, I had a 650 put for that. It was expiring today, because it was also, which everybody should know, is the market picks a direction a lot of the time on Fridays. It will pick one way rather than just like going up and down and being choppy, because you can't really do option calls that way. It's kind of a pain to do that. So, yeah. But I do want to mention one more crypto thing, is that even if anybody is not bullish on crypto, get bullish on crypto. Because if you look at the prices last year, and then you look at the prices now, and you look at the amount of news that was coming out of the crypto market last year and the crypto market now, it is insane. The news and the popularity is ridiculous now.
That's true.
Like, get with the program. That's all I can say about crypto, totally. And Ethereum 2.0, that's killer.
I mean, it is kind of crazy because only about like 22% of the population in America is invested in crypto.
You guys are all invested in like Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
At least yeah. You're not. You should definitely get invested in Ethereum.
It's always good to have money in it.
Because
Like,
like
everybody should be invested in
Yeah.
it.
at least
Ethereum
Ethereum.
is key.
Even my parents are invested in Ethereum,
Yeah.
and I'm about to get invested in Ethereum right after I graduate.
Like if anybody wants to like start
it's the
investing
only one
now
that's
is
very
the
safe.
time.
It's very safe.
One more quick crypto thing. The bear market is the time to invest in crypto. If you want to make money in crypto, invest in the bear market. You will not make money buying the greed market. You can literally look up online a Bitcoin thermometer thing that says fear or greed. If it's fear, it's a bear market. If it's greed, it's going to go up. So people are going to buy. If it's fear, they're scared. So obviously everybody's going to sell. So you look for the bottom and you buy the bottom. But don't try to time the market. Crypto.
Good point.
Facts.
End that cut. Please.
Okay, we are back with the fourth and final segment of the episode, unfortunately. We've had a great episode today.
Yeah.
Love all of you. So this is segment's probably going to be mostly about Simon and just what he's going to do and different things about him. Okay. Obviously, all of you guys can chip in. Like, it's not just just not just about Simon.
Yeah.
Questions are scripted towards him.
Okay.
So Simon,
So Nico.
what are you looking for out of college?
Oh,
Like,
that's
what do
such a
you
good
want
question.
out of college?
That's such a good question. I had to ask myself that actually a lot because it's like I'm not gonna. So I'm lucky enough to I'm not gonna have to worry about college payments out of school. So I'll be debt free out of college, but I still didn't want my parents to pay money for something that I'm just gonna drop out of because I knew that was a possibility on the table, especially where I was 2 years ago. So I think that one thing that I'm looking for out of college, and that I think if you are unsure about college and don't know if you're not and you're looking for something like this, then it'd be a good thing to do. I think I'm definitely looking for experience and living by myself. One thing I'm really excited about is living by myself. I was such a spoiled kid, and I don't know about you guys, I didn't really do that many chores or anything at all. So basically, I did my laundry at 12. I do the dishes now, but I would get paid to mow the lawn. I don't think I've ever taken out the Jamie's face. I don't think I've ever taken out the trash in my life. So yeah, isn't that crazy? At my own house, I've taken out the trash more at my friend's house probably than at my own house, to be honest. Mom and Dad, thank you for that. If you guys are watching. So basically, but my parents have instilled other things in me like work ethic and stuff like that, which was really important.
As long as you have your morals
Yeah,
straight.
and so I think one thing that I'm really excited about learning that my parents have told me I have to learn and that everyone has to learn is just how to live by yourself when you need to and I think this is something that you can agree on, Jamie, because this is your first year of college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've living with yourself.
Yeah.
Fucking
So it's
hard.
I want to learn how to when I just want to learn more about myself when I need to do certain things. I'm probably gonna have to start working out in college. I'm not just gonna I'm probably gonna want to do some sort of sport. I want to see what I'm good. I want to see what I'm interested in. I think college is a great avenue for that, especially because the economics of it for me are much better than most people. So if I can just get, it's basically for me free experience under a structured environment.
Can I give you some advice?
Yeah.
Take your time with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Figuring out what you're gonna do and when you need to do things.
I agree.
That shit will just happen.
Yeah.
But take your time when you first get into it.
Definitely, yeah. And I think another thing I'm looking for in college is is kind of just friends. Honestly, I love my high school friends a lot, but new friends are cool.
People.
I kind of want to are you going undecided, or do you have
Yeah, I think I went in. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what I went in as. I think I went in as I think they picked me as so I got into the Worcester business school, which just meant I would be majoring in business.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure for Westfield, I'd be undecided.
All right.
So I don't. Yeah, undecided.
What are you trying to do though? Because college has that education. Obviously, are you trying to use college education experience into your real life job? What are you looking to gain?
That would be cool. That'd be a cool little side thing. I think one thing that. Oh, what the hell? I forgot to say. Oh, the last thing I'm looking for in college is a degree. That'd be cool. A degree would be cool because it's not an easy fallback, but it opens up a lot of doors. You have to agree with that.
But what are you trying to what's your
I don't know.
goal of college?
Do I have to? I just said what my goals in college were.
Like as
No, like the end goal.
like
what
to make
A degree.
money. Like how are you gonna like? What's your
I don't know. Do I have to know?
yeah?
So, I think a lot of people and a lot of us look at college differently. Like
Than I do.
no, than we do.
I think I'm looking.
Because-
I'm looking at college in like a logical like way, like calculated way. Like I'm not just thinking about like the experience.
So I understand that, but it's like so for me and like my experience with Simon is like he is the type of person that really doesn't give a shit about the materialistic things and about the crazy things in life. He's a really honestly like if I'm being honest, like you're a pretty down to earth person.
Yeah.
Like you don't really give a shit. And you're really just like about you and like what like being
I'm wearing
yourself.
pajamas right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah.
you wear the
Wear them every
pajamas
day.
to
It's
just
school
like-
every day.
yeah.
You don't give a crap
Yeah.
about anyone else.
Right.
Exactly, and it's a good thing. But it's also
Wow. Oh my god!
surprise.
Is this just gonna be? Should we just leave this in because he interrupted us on the first podcast? That Nico is pissed now, George. Wow.
All
Just
right,
make me
get
go
back
back.
to it. Let's get back to it. As you were saying, Nico.
You cut it, right?
No, this is good, Nico. You're fine.
We're gonna have to cut it out.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's flowy.
As you were saying,
It's not
Nico.
flowy at all. We're gonna have to cut that like whole like section of that question.
As you were saying, Nico.
I don't even remember what I was fucking saying.
Oh
Okay,
my
fine.
god.
Okay, well, I guess Jane's gonna cut it out because since you had a hissy
We're
fit.
cutting out
It's
that
gonna be
section.
cut out.
Fuck.
It is gonna be.
All right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
George, get out. Like you can't interrupt this. Like either get out or like sit in the fucking corner and be quiet. Cause like we've been doing this.
Or
for,
you're
like, 2
grounded,
hours,
George.
we're done.
Or you're grounded. Listen to your younger brother.
Do something. Like we're filming.
Bro.
Just like move. All right.
I'm not gonna. Bye, George.
You can't use the TV. We can't have
Can
background
we please
noise.
leave the? Can we please leave this in? Oh my god.
That's why there's.
Okay, can you just send me? Can you just send me the unedited? That's all I want to see.
I got you.
Okay, yeah.
Is this even on recording?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been recording the entire
Did
time.
you restart it?
We're not just gonna cut it out. We're just gonna cut it
That's
out.
what-
Nico, just
that's
keep
what
going.
Final
We don't-
Cut Pro
You just have to
is
get
for.
back into
It's
it.
gonna pause. If we
No,
don't-
it's
if we
not.
go
It's
over
fine.
time.
It's
Okay.
fine.
How much time do we have?
13 minutes.
Like we're
Okay.
fine.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay. 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 I don't know how to make that like smooth.
It's not gonna be smooth if it's cut. So
It has to be cut.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
because you don't even remember what you were saying.
Just
before.
go to like be like, oh, second question. All right.
Yeah.
Just
so-
go.
Just go to the next
roll
question.
With it.
Go to the next question.
Dude, that's why there's an
You're
You're
editor.
paying Jamie to
Nico,
figure it out.
This is
I
why
got
there's an
it.
editor. Like
Oh
people
my god,
figure this
okay,
out.
fine. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, next question, Simon. Do you think that you're dreaming like less than you could possibly achieve in life? Like, do you think your mindset holds you back?
Before you say anything, just like take a minute to really.
Yeah, I think about questions when they're asked. Do I think? I guess I can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna be like, and I don't know what the future holds. I think the important thing that you are trying to stress, which we can all agree on, if you want to be mega successful, mega influential, that type of person, if you want to be that guy or woman, you have to be a go-getter. You have to have, like, I think a good example in terms of sports, almost every single basketball starter, that leads his team in scoring in basketball, thinks he's the best player in the entire league, in the world. And that's why they're in the NBA, in my opinion. You have to have that mindset. So I'm not going to argue with you for having that mindset, but my mindset is very minimalistic of the world. I think I just,
You kind of just flow with like
Yeah.
the way life goes.
I really do. I don't know, and I know that I need a plan, but I also know that like life is short.
And
if
stuff
you're
will still happen.
And if you're gonna spend all your time worrying about what the future holds, you're not gonna have any time to like live in the moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree, but we, like, for me at least, like, I've made it, like, a really important thing in my life to be trying consistently to be always living in the moment. To, like, not be worrying about the future. Like, I really have been trying to do that because, you know, I have
It's hard.
some
It's
shitty
hard.
anxiety. So, like, I worry a lot about things, and going with the flow of the, like, world isn't the same as just, like, dreaming. You know? Like, I just want to know, like, is society's mindset that was placed upon you holding you back from believing that you can do anything you want and like creating this minimalistic mindset?
I never said I couldn't do anything I put my mind to. I know I could do anything I put my mind to.
Okay.
I just think that it's kind of like it's only that type of mindset, the real dream mindset is only important in terms of like what you guys want to pursue in the future, whatever that may be. I think that like I know for a fact if I wanted to do like this like I like animals a ton. I love animals. I think like if I ever wanted to be like work with animals, I could be totally happy doing that. I think if I wanted to like so my answer to the question is no, I don't, because I still have really big dreams, and I think one thing about like that's important about your dreams is that you do have to hone in on like specific ones, and I think that like so maybe yes and no. It's a really good question actually. I think that like so yeah, I really like animals, right? I also really like working with kids and like seeing people learn, and like I like learning myself. So teaching be a great avenue. I would love to teach, and I'd also love to work with animals. I think that like
teaching animals.
Yeah, maybe you can do that, and I think that that's why like a mindset where you're open to anything, to let the world come to you and your interests, doesn't necessarily limit you, because anything in your life, which my mom was just saying recently, anything in your life could influence you into like pursuing a passion, pursuing a career. So you never know.
Yeah. Your like thoughts on like everything changes throughout time, like
Totally. We're only fucking 8.
I think that's what you were trying to get at a little bit.
Definitely.
I had like earlier you like mentioned like this like success, right? Like what do you define as success? Because like that kind of took me off how you just thought success was just like having all this money and like fame and like influence. And,
I didn't say that. I think success is different for everyone. Success for me is.
Well, how do you personally like? What's your measurement of success?
Of if I'm gonna be successful, or if I determine whether or not someone else is successful.
Both. What's your measurement or definition?
Both.
Yeah. So I guess I'll answer I'll answer my own question kind of.
All right.
I think how I define myself being successful is kind of being happy with every decision that I'm making. And if I make mistakes, learning from those, and just kind of like, those are two important ones. And I think when I judge someone else's success, I think you first have to ask them, do you think you're successful? I don't think you could just judge someone. I think anyone's success is basically based on what they believe is successful, right? Because like we have super different mindsets about how the world works.
Oh yeah.
My version of successful is 100% not going to be the version of successful that you think of. It's going to share some things. We're both going to be happy, probably, right? Mm-hmm. Most of the time. We're both going to, like, be learning a lot. We're both going to be doing that stuff. But I think that, where was I going with this? I don't know where I was going with this. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this.
I think you're, like...
What do you think, Cindy? You're older. I think it's interesting to get an older person, a little bit of an older person's
I want to hear you talk.
So, bounce your idea off one more time. Because I understand what you.
So like my idea of success is like when I'm 30
Okay.
and I look
What's
at
your
my
idea of success? How do you define success in your eyes?
So a lot of people, I want to go a little bit off track. So a lot of people have different definitions of success, just like
Definitely,
you
yeah.
guys were talking
Yeah.
about. Because someone could want like all the materialistic things out of life,
Mhm.
like fancy cars, fancy houses, and some people. So I consider success is. So my dream is to have an orphanage built in my grandmother's name. That when I have that, that's when I know I'm truly successful because that's what I want to do as a person and what I deem in my heart is like something I know will, at least for me, like last for a long time and help people.
Wait, are you adopted?
I am.
I forgot
I
about
think
that.
I just really kind of summarized that in my head, like what Cindy just explained. Like success is how. Oh my god.
Yeah, we've been recording for a
Success is basically, I think you guys are trying to get at, success is basically,
It's a feel good feeling to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
what I said.
that's what I'm trying to get at because he's saying like, oh, these materialistic items like they're making you feel good. That's how like I think like a measurement of success is. Like me living in the woods might make me like feel good. That's gonna be my success. Like it's a feel good feeling of success. Like you accomplish something. Like
Exactly.
it's the beginning and end of a new chapter. I think that's what like a little bit of it is what you're trying to get at, kind of.
I agree. No, that's exactly what I'm trying because I mean, that's my end goal. Like that's exactly what, as you were saying, that's what it all comes to.
Yeah.
And so I feel like everyone has their own version of that.
So success to you is when you like accomplish your biggest dream.
I wouldn't say accomplish my biggest dream, like to make it to where I personally feel good. Like I feel
Okay.
like I did something. Like I.
Which we can all agree is different for everyone.
Yeah.
different for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's I feel like we can all kind of agree upon like that's kind of the feeling we want. We want to get to that point where we can finally like take a deep breath and be like, holy shit, I finally did it. Like,
I want to get to the point where I can just sit. Like I can literally just sit down and be like, wow, I'm just sitting. Like nothing else is like worried. Like everything is set straight in my life. I have just like I'm just enjoying like sucking in life now.
Exactly.
I agree, 100%. Okay, so we have 2 more questions. Try to fit them in quick.
Yeah. Or you can pick the better one.
Simon, we'll start with this one.
Okay.
So, as you guys know, society places this idea of us that we want, like, you need to go to college to be successful. A lot of people,
I would agree with that.
a lot of people's society places that idea on us. So, my question is, how do you think college will affect your, as you called it in Florida, Nico goals?
Did I say that?
Yep.
I
Or,
think
like, big dreams.
Yeah. That's a good question too. I think one thing to the first point, I think gradually the stigma of like you need to go to college, I think is gradually declining. I've heard a lot more people saying like, because everyone knows that now trades, you can make way too much money on trades. You can pay people so much money to freaking get your car fixed, to get like anything electrical or plumbing wise installed. You can make a lot of money. How do I think college will affect my Nico goals? I guess the short answer is I don't know. Can I say? I guess an answer could be, or I guess I explain how I would want it to. When I do have like big aspirations, I want to be I really just want to be the best at whatever I do, which I know could be pretty big.
Say it out there. What do you want?
I think that just like I just want to have a better understanding of like what it is I really, really want way in the future.
Like
I think
who you are.
yeah. And I think you can get that in so many different ways. I think that's a good way to wrap it up. Like you can get I think this is why this podcast is actually interesting. You can get like your fix of life through so many different avenues. That's what makes it interesting, is because like people are driven by different things, and that's what makes the world like turn, really.
Say that to the camera one more time.
What did I say?
People are driven by different things. That's
People
what makes
people are
them
driven by different things. You know, everyone has different interests. You know, when people are driven by different things, say money, being really successful, that makes the world a much better place. It makes things work better. It makes things like more efficient. That's really good. Zenus has like potential to do like a lot of good things for the world. If you have like, say, like life aspirations like me where I don't know and it could just be really anything and I'm open to anything. I think people like that like really have an opportunity to like make a difference in like just small people's lives.
Okay, so that's a wrap. This is the first episode of Glass Half Full.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for watching.
Should you
Thank you,
shout out the
Simon.
merch? Are you selling this merch?
So we're not selling this merch yet, but our
will be.
logo
comfy.
will be on a sweatshirt and will be for sale for all of you to buy.
Grab
Please
them
buy.
Grab them. We want your money. Give us your money.
Your money means more episodes.
Yes,
They
sir.
That is
look
true.
great on you and your
Better
your
quality,
money will
better
look good in our wallet.
content.
is true.
Okay, so I love all of you. Have
Thank
a good
you so
night
much.
or day or wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this.
Peace.
We love you all.
Peace.
We love you all. That's Glass
Great
Half Full.
exit. Great exit.